Hi YouTube, welcome back to Wtf Rc Cars. So we got another video of the Flysky G7P receivers, and this one is really interesting. So this is the HW-711. Not only is it a receiver, it also has a built-in hobby wing ESC, and I'll put some close pictures up around here somewhere so you can get a better look at it. You do have a detachable power on-off switch. You can't disconnect the cable, but it does have a little mounting spot for it, so you can mount it remotely or on the actual device itself. It does come with a Dean's T-style connector, which instantly makes me think aimed at crawlers or the THETA cars, and it's a brushed speed controller that's built into it. You've got little antenna, and it's also got a light controller, which I'm going to cover on another video because it's a bit more in depth. It is quite a feature-packed light controller. So what I'm going to show you how to do to start with is how to bind it up to the controller, and with the ESC being integrated into the receiver itself, you do have some of the ESC controls on the actual transmitter. Spec wise on this, it's a 40 amp ESC, so you're going to be looking at high turn brushless brush motors, like what comes in the THETA cars or in a lot of the 10 scale rock crawlers. Be a fantastic ESC for that. It does run 2 to 3S LiPo, 5 to 9 cell NIM. Quite a powerful BEC in this one, really. You've got a full 6 volt 3 amp BEC, and it is listed as waterproof, so it does have a waterproof logo on there. But let's get you in for a closer look and show you how you set this thing on. Right, so you want to go onto your Flysky G7P, and then first thing we're going to want to do is go to his model memories. So you want to select one that you've not got set up, and then you can name it. So we've got the name put in just so we know what it is. Then next thing we're going to want to do is go to our bind set. So on here, going to want to change that to two-way. Then we're going to go down to RX type. You'll get a warning saying you're changing it to an ESC. So we've got that done. And then you can go down to start bind. And literally all we need to do at this point is turn the ESC on, or the receiver ESC, and it'll automatically go into bind mode, and that's it. That's now bound. Now this is where I've seen a bit of confusion with this controller, because it does work more in line with how the Pro works. So once we've gone on and we've set it up, you've basically got your steering, and then we've got as throttle and brake and reverse. So what I would advise you doing now, you have got 2 more channels on here. So I would go into channel 3, and then we can set this. So you can choose a switch. So I'll set that to switch 1. And then channel 4, let's have a look. Yeah, we'll set that to switch 2. If you don't assign them, you won't have any control over the other 2 channels. So at this point, you can either plug servos into these or not use them, do whatever you like. But you do have channel 3 and 4. You can set it to any of the variable dials or anything. But let's have a look what other controls we've got. So if we go into menu, so you've got your normal channel reverse. So we've got that going anti-clockwise for the throttle. So let's see if we just reverse that channel. Yeah, so that reverses as you'd expected. Pulling throttle now works as you brake and reverse. So that's behaving like I'd expect it to. That's got it back to normal. Then you've got your endpoints, obviously. Your throttle steering and everything, just as any other receiver. Sub-trim, dual rates, curve. SVC still not supported because that's for gyro controllers. So let's have a look what other settings we've got on the actual ESC itself. So you can come down to ESC set. So we can control how the actual ESC is working. So the options are forward brake reverse, forward and reverse directly. Some people in crawlers don't like it, so we can flick between those two. Then battery type, you've got your LiPo for the LiPo cutoff and NIM. And then we've also got, so is this brake force or front rear? That looks like it's braking quite a lot. So let's change it down. So yeah, looks like you can change your brake force. Yeah, that's quite a lot of brake. So if we change that back. Yeah, that definitely seems like it's brake force. But that's just the basic setup of the ESC, and that's running a Traxxas motor at the minute, one of the 21 turn 550s, is it? Yeah. As I say, you can assign these extra channels, so you've got 2 more channels that you can use. It'll run 2 to 3S LiPo, and basically nice little brushed ESC and receiver all in one. So let's wrap this one up. Certainly interesting to see a Flysky receiver with a Hobbywing ESC. I'm really interested to see where this could actually lead, because things like this are extremely useful. We've got a lot of uses in rock crawlers and things like that, but there's also a lot of the kind of WL toys and things that come with built-in ESC and receivers all in one. And if you want to get it running on your G7P, you've got to buy a receiver, then a speed controller. This kind of eliminates all that, and also the light controller built in. I do know quite a few RTRs sort of lean towards this, but it's nice to have an option that if you've got a nice transmitter that you like using, you can just directly drop this in and replace the speed controller, the receiver, light controller, everything all in one. And I know a lot of these other cars don't have your standard sized servo sockets, so it can make it a bit awkward, whereas this approach is kind of a real nice neat all in one. Do need to remember it's only a 40 amp ESC. It's not designed for sticking in a Creighton 6S or anything like that. So as long as you've got a relatively standard tame powered 540, 550 size motor, should be absolutely fine. Rock crawlers, I don't think there'd be any issue with, unless you've got a really high powered motor and a really heavy rock crawler. I will do a video on all the light controls, but it's Sounds more complicated than it is, but there's a lot of info to try and fit in that video. So I thought I'd keep these separate, see how we go. But thanks again for watching WTF Rc Cars. If you like this kind of video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, share to friends and family. Shut up. And I'll catch you guys again in the next one.